What is up, my dudes, and that one girl who just wants me to light up her life? I got you, one girl. This is Bikes, Beards, and Brews. Let's kick that intro. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we kick this one off, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification. New videos are coming weekly. Ring that bell, you know when they drop. Let's get the other stuff out of the way. Want to save 10% on a Cardo communicator, or save some money on some Beyond Riders gear, or some HOGWORKZ gear, which you may be interested in by the end of this video, then you should definitely check out my referral links down below. Want to support me and all my do-gooderness like these cool guys here? Boom! Then you should become part of the Brew crew and join the coffee page down below. Want to know why I'm asking you for money? Well, next to those 10,000 Amazon affiliate links that also go to a good cause is a link explaining what I do with your money. Get it, got it, cool, let's move on. All right, guys, so today we are going to be getting into headlight replacement. And I'm sure some of you can see already, this bike has had a headlight replaced years ago. And that is true. I actually did a video on this. This is from Electric Lighting Company. It is a shark tooth headlight. And I actually did this when this style first came out. And I did really dig it. I do still dig it. But for me, one of the issues that I have is I always want more light. And that's because if you've been a fan of this channel for a little while, you know, a lot of my road trips start off somewhere between 11 at night and 2 in the morning when it is insanely dark and I need as much light as I can to see, especially when it comes to the sides of the road, when I'm going through like Connecticut or some of these narrower sort of roads, back roads, stuff like that, where there tends to be a lot of deer and wildlife. For me, I want to see as far down the road as possible so I have the best reaction time possible, and I want to see everything on the sides so I can make sure nothing's about to come running in front of my bike. So with that, I do enjoy this headlight, but there is one that claims to be better that I am very interested in, and that's what we're going to get into today. So with that, let me present to you the HOGWORKZ Sabertooth headlight. Now, I've actually had this headlight for a while, and I have not been able to install it. However, HOGWORKZ did some cool stuff, and today I think is the day that I will be able to install this. And we're going to be talking about that today as well. Now, before we go too far, I do want to cover a few bases here. This headlight, you've probably seen 100 different versions of it. A lot of companies are making this exact same headlight. Quite honestly, they're all probably coming out of the same factory. On low beam, this has 3,900 lumens. On high beam, it's just a little under 8,000 lumens, and that is much brighter than the headlights that come with a stock Harley-Davidson Road Glide. Now, just to give you an idea of the difference, these headlights come in at 6,500 lumen on low beam, and then they crank right up to 10,500 lumen on high beam. That is significantly brighter. Now, clearly there are other manufacturers making Baja versions of lights. I've seen them around and I did go check out some. I did look at a very popular competitor for this headlight. I'm not going to name names, but it's a demonic light that's for your shark. I'm sure you guys can figure that out. I tried to look up their lumens and they play all kinds of like different games and spinning cartwheels and jumping through hoops to make it about as confusing as humanly possible. And they break it down to each light versus what you're getting total. So maybe it's brighter, maybe it's the same, maybe it's duller. Honestly, if you add the numbers together, it's duller, but you know, that's them. So whatever, I'm not gonna go after it because they don't give you just a straight number like the rest of these companies do. Little shady, little shady. Now, if you compare this headlight to their headlight, pretty much all the specs are exactly the same. It's IP67 water resistant, same kind of metals. Both of them are coming with that lifetime warranty. Yes, this has a lifetime warranty. HOGWORKZ is not messing around there. So overall, pound for pound, you are getting most likely a better light with this one, because I'm pretty well convinced this one is going to be brighter than what they are offering. However, what you're not getting is their exorbitant price. This actually comes in at $800 versus the competition, which is coming in at $1,000. Now, as I said in the beginning, you can go to their site and you can use my discount code and you can save even more on top of that. So this comes in under $800 if you put BBB, triple B, in the discount code on checkout. Now, previously, I was unable to install this in my bike for one very simple reason. I have an aftermarket amp in this bike, and it would bang against this plate right here and make it so I could not install this headlight. I was very sad about that because I really wanted to get this installed and I really wanted to try this out. HOGWORKZ apparently heard my cries, and I'm sure I am not alone because they developed a solution to this. So this right here is the new plate that they have, which is designed for larger aftermarket amps that are in your fairing. If you notice, there's a cutout right here where there isn't right here. Now, this does increase the price a bit. You don't need this if you don't have an aftermarket amp in your fairing. However, if you do, this is something you're gonna have to look into. The cost for this is $80. So that would put this entire kit at $880. Still $120 under the main competition. And even cheaper if you use my discount code that's down below. Did you know I have a discount code? It's down below. But yes, let's go ahead and get this installed. And let's see if this takes care of my issues. And then let's go test out this headlight. Now, when I first got this headlight, I did take my bike and I brought it out to a parking lot and I did a headlight test. I'll show it right here. And later on, we're gonna do a side-by-side comparison with this headlight to see if this makes a difference. So yes, you are gonna see some difference in the trees and stuff because I'm pretty sure we're still right around like winter when I initially filmed that, but I'm gonna be using the same camera I used for that. I'm going to be in the same location and in the same parking lot, all that stuff. So let's go ahead and take apart the Shark and get this in there and try this out. And real quick, I know it's daytime, but let's check out the headlight before I remove it. Now keep in mind as well, this is the headlight. These are aftermarket and these are gonna be getting removed as well. So these are not part of this unit right here. I also have this little fog light down below. It's okay, but I did lower my fairing as well, so I kind of have to angle this down a little bit so it doesn't shoot down the highway as much as I was kind of hoping it would when I did originally purchase it. Sooner or later, I'll get some longer bolts and maybe a few washers and see if I can lower that a little bit, but I'm not sweating it too much, especially not with that new headlight. And just like that, the headlight is off. So yes, I have the headlight here, aftermarket directionals, that all came off. Few caveats here. You want to save the hardware you use to bolt this in, or if you're using your factory headlight, save those bolts because you're going to be reusing them when you install the new headlight. So just keep that in mind. Now, just to give you guys an idea, right here, that's my amp. This is how far it sticks out. This is why I couldn't install the previous plate. So hopefully the new plate is going to take care of this issue altogether. So on to the next step. Let's try this out. Now, part of the next step is I actually have to remove this plate and move these headlights over to the new plate. So this doesn't bolt to this. This is a direct replacement for this plate. So you've got a couple different bolts here we're gonna take out. We're gonna take out the bolts here on the side. That's another cool thing about this headlight. Make sure you pay attention when you install this. You can actually tilt the headlight up or down or straight forward, make those adjustments so the light is where you want it to be on the road when you go to use this. So let's get all this swapped over and then let's move forward. Just to give you an idea of the difference between the plates, it's actually, there you go, that side up, bam. So yeah, you get that nice little cutout up there that should take care of this, no problem. Let's get this back together. I'm aiming for these straight ahead for right now. If I have to adjust them later on, I will. But for the most part, I'm just going for flat, so they're shooting straight down the highway. All right, so this headlight actually comes with these little pegs. They're gonna bolt in right here. That is to help secure your air dams here, because your old headlight had little pegs that hooked right into these holes. This obviously does not. This is the solution for that. So these are just gonna bolt right in and you're gonna be good to go. It's gonna hold everything nice and sturdy and your bike's not gonna be rattling in the wind. Good to go, let's get this in. Now, first things first, you're gonna need this wire harness because you only have a single connection here and this obviously has two. So you're gonna plug that in before you hook up anything else. Next up, you have this backing plate. You just want to get this in here, make sure that all your wires are behind it and this is routed around it. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little bit. I have a lot of wires back there, so I had to finagle some stuff to get it to fit correctly. So I definitely had to wrestle with this a little bit. However, it is now done. Before I show you the finished product though, I do want to say HOGWORKZ has a couple different versions of this headlight. They have double clear, double yellow, or this one. So each one has its own name. This is the saber tooth. The reason why I went for this is because I wanted the yellow light just to cut through fog better. White light doesn't do that so well. I found it to be quite reflective in fog, which is not pleasant, especially when, like I said, I'm trying to see as far down the road as I can, especially at like 2, 3 in the morning when it is just straight blackout. So I'm really hoping that this does help out quite a bit. I'm sure it will, but that's the reason why I went with this versus double white again. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. How's that for bright? That's not even a high beam. That's the low beam. Like, let's do this. Like, look at that. That is nuts. So yeah, hold on. All right, so next step, let's wait till it gets dark so I can bring this over to where I tested last time and I can do a side-by-side for you so you can see the difference between this headlight and the previous headlight. Let's do it. Okay guys, so here's a little editing magic. I'm gonna take you behind the scenes a bit. I'm gonna record 2 different outros, and depending on what the results were here, it's the one you're gonna get. So let's do that. All right guys, so you saw the difference between the 2 lights. Which one did you think was brighter? Do you think that yellow light helps out? Is this something that you would be interested in? I know I am quite excited about this. So I can't wait to test this. I can't wait to get out, do a few night rides with it and really see the difference. But you know, that's gonna take a little bit of time. So pay attention to the channel. You'll hear my thoughts, you'll hear my feedback, and you'll definitely see some pics and vids and all that fun stuff. But until then, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, share this video with friends, share it with family, share it with that one dude you know who's like, I'd love to go riding in the dark, but I can't see anything. Now you can. Now you can. He loves this stuff, trust me. And I'll see y'all on the flip side.